There's one concept from the world of pickup artistry that you need to know that you can't afford not to know when it comes to trying to get your ex back. Pickup artistry sounds cheesy. What does that have to do with loving my partner? Blah, blah, blah. Just hear me out. Before I tell you what this is, I'm going to tell you a little story that proves the point. So years ago, I had matched with this girl on Tinder, and she was Brazilian. She was super hot, but her English sucked. And I actually accused her of being fake because her English sucked. There's only like a couple pictures. She was super hot. And, I told her to get on FaceTime. So she did, to like prove that she was real. She gets on FaceTime. Well, her English still isn't that great, but she had a son that was in school that knew English pretty well, and he was actually our little go-between. So we were able to set up a date just through her son. So I'm looking good. I'm feeling good. I show up to the date, and we're kind of like walking from opposite directions in front of the restaurant. And I see her, and she has instant RBF, like instant disinterest on her face, just like not into it, like super, not only nonchalant, but almost like slightly negative. And I don't know if she thought I was tall or something. I'm 5'7", so I don't know what her disappointment was. But this was like even before we had even talked, okay? And she was super excited in the online interactions. Well, we go into the restaurant and we're passing back the phone back and forth. This is before the days of AI translation pins. But we're passing the phone back and forth to like say things to each other. And I was having fun. I was like, oh, this is cool. I'm learning a different culture, different language, blah, blah, blah. But she was just, you could see that like with every little bit of effort we were having to put in, she just didn't like it. And eventually she starts complaining about the noise in the restaurant. So she's trying to like get out of there, right? And I'm like, okay, but we didn't even order food, so we end up walking outside. And as a man, being in charge of the logistics of the date, I'm thinking, okay, well, if we're not going to have dinner, like how the fuck am I going to rescue this, So I start looking around. I see some park benches out there. I was like, okay, we can sit down on the bench or whatever. And then we just decide to go into my car and talk. So we sit down, we're in the car, less noisy than the restaurant. I don't know what her deal was. But we get in the car and, we continue to talk here's the thing. She was not feeling it the whole entire time, but because I was so confident, I'd been on so many other dates and had success with so many other women that were beautiful as she was, that I knew I knew that I could do it. Like she wasn't leaving. I had her there as a captive audience. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to work you over with charisma and confidence. So I leaned into that attitude. My frame was so strong from prior successes with women that I was able to turn somebody that was clearly disinterested into a place of being open, and I ended up making out with her in the car. Now, after that happened, she left, never talked to her again, but what would normally go from like a really bad date where you would actually end up feeling bad about yourself because you got such negative treatment by the other person, I was able to turn that into a makeout, even though I never talked to her again. So why is this a story? Well, it's a story because your reality is moldable, just like clay. And depending on your frame, you could turn little situations that would otherwise go bad if you treated them with a straightforward mindset about it into something that's even better, okay? But it all depends upon your frame. So one of the things that pickup artists really focus on when they're going out into these environments with all these strangers and they're in strict competition with other people for the pretty girl or whatever, is they got to have that stronger frame than the other guys around them, or even than the girl, for example, if you're a guy trying to go out and get phone numbers. Now, if you're a woman watching this, it's still relevant to you because you have to have a stronger frame that you're the prize, that you're better than any other girl that he could go out and get. If you do, dude watching, it's the same thing. You've got to believe that you are the best option for your ex. And you may say that you believe that, but I need to see that in your actions. What actions do you take that proves this on a subconscious level to your ex? Now, if you want some help getting your ex back, click up here, click here, set up a call with me, tell me your story, and I'll give you a step-by-step plan to get your ex back.